Um, Over my sophomore year, I did have a massive anxiety attack in school. Something exciting, crazy, and loud happened. I would make myself really nauseous and have a hard time breathing. And that kept happening, and we were down there for 2 weeks, and it kept happening, and it was really bad. Well, I have to be organized because the clutter really makes me anxious. It's really bad. It's like an OCD sort of thing. It's stupid. I have to make like lists of like to-do lists so I don't get off, so I don't stress myself out because stress like will trigger an anxiety attack. I work out a lot, and it's like called 4-step breathing, which is when you feel anxious, you have to breathe a certain way. Basically, you close your eyes and you breathe in for 4 seconds, and you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out for 4 seconds, and then you hold it, and then you do it again. So like, I'll show you. So you go. When you breathe, you have to make sure that you inhale with your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And when you breathe out, you're supposed to be breathing out all the bad thoughts and anxiety and stress. It's a way to calm you down and relax you, and it really does help.
Anxiety to me is different from stress. People usually associate it with being stressed out. It's not just having, oh wow, I have a big load of homework that day. You usually feel anxiety even when you don't necessarily feel like you should be stressed out about any situation, not just academics. But when we were talking about my old psychiatrist and I said that I was diagnosed when I was 9, they said that they still were working on it, so they still haven't really reached why I have anxiety, so they're still trying to dig closer. And they try to put me in contact with a psychologist also for like a therapy thing to kind of figure out what the reason is and like kind of dig deep. As I've gotten older, it's definitely gotten better because I've learned how to cope with it myself. I would probably not be here living on campus if I couldn't like cope with my own anxiety, because that would just be terrifying. People who probably still have anxiety now or like currently have it, I would probably recommend that they should probably do something that's active. For me, when I'm active, it kind of mellows me out. So like if I'm doing like I'm not saying you have to do like a high intense like sports activity or anything, but even if I'm like keeping myself busy, like in the past I've done poetry. And
I became diagnosed with OCD, basically because I have anxiety. And it was about in, let's say, 8th grade. It was kind of because my grandpa passed away, and he was the closest to me, so I started to have anxiety about my family members, kind of thing. Anxiety, in my words, is just being basically anxious all the time. I know it's like kind of the same anxiety, anxious, but it's worrying about everything and everything you do and everything having to be perfect or else something bad's going to happen. That's how I personally take it. I didn't take any meds because personally I didn't want to be on medication, even though my anxiety is really high, but there's a lot of side effects. I decided kind of not to do it because I would be going to college and stressing out and everything, so I didn't think I really needed the medication. 5th grade, when my grandpa passed away, and just because he was like just the closest, I saw him basically every day, and it was just something that I do these rituals because I feel like if I don't, then something bad's going to happen to like one of my loved ones or me or someone that I know. If someone has OCD or anxiety or any type of that stuff, I would definitely say go to a therapist and talk it out. I mean, you don't have to do medications. I'm living without medications and I'm doing okay.
I've had years of coping mechanisms. Like I have like breathing exercises and stress balls, and I call my mother a lot. Yeah, she like having somebody to vent and talk about it with helps relieve it. But it gets easier throughout the years of you just figure out, like, you have to think about what it is that is bothering you, and then, yeah, a lot of people have asked what anxiety was because they've seen me freaking out over what to them is, like, nothing. So, like, I'd be crying hysterically and shaking and hyperventilating over, like, a test that's about to come. School, I have school anxiety. So school terrifies me, and that's the major cause of it. Like tests, quizzes, getting in trouble, missing homeworks, being late. Like I arrive to class like a half hour early because I'm terrified of being late. I'm terrified. I don't speak in class really because I'm afraid of like getting something wrong or like getting in trouble or anything. I don't like it at all. Like as I got older, it got a lot easier to deal with. I wouldn't say better, but I learned how to deal with it more.
I got diagnosed with anxiety when I was about 12. My first big episode, I was hospitalized, and I would describe anxiety as like a tightening in your chest, like you can't really breathe. You start to face this as I take anxiety meds 3 times a day. It's called hydroxyzine. I take it for when I'm like every 6 hours. Other people, when I've had an anxiety attack in front of people, it's usually with my friends, and they sort of know I have anxiety, and I tell them, I go, guys, I'm about to have an anxiety attack, and I usually I don't like when people see me have one, so I usually go off into another room, and I go by myself, and I try to calm myself down. An activity, I have a list of 99 coping methods that you could do. It's from rearranging your room, to cleaning, to reading a book, just different little activities you can do.
After filming this documentary over the course of 5 days, I just want to share my overall reflection on day 6, to understand what they go through, to understand how they deal with it, to understand how others treat them, and what anxiety is. It means the world to me that I had a chance to sit down with my close friends and understand them and understand what anxiety is better. Because now I have a better idea what it is. From this video, I accomplished all the goals that I was planning on and more. I had from day 1 when I came to class and I shared with everybody what I wanted to accomplish with this project. I'm very glad that I could say I did. I accomplished every goal that I had. Every question that I had was answered. And from this experience, I hope that others will be able to see what I was trying to get across. I just wanted to thank my friends for taking the time out of their busy college schedule, sitting down and sharing their life stories and experiences with me, because I truly learned a lot, and I enjoyed every moment, and I embraced every minute to understand and actually learn what they go through. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm very glad that I had a chance with my friends to connect on a different level, and now I could help them differently and help them enjoy college even more than they currently are. I hope that from watching this documentary that you learned a lot.